Chelsea fans, it is yet another one. We won a game again, and that is definitely huge. And well, it's another first back-to-back victories we've had in such a long while. Mykhailo Mudryk is the bigger headline even. He got a goal, and I just simply loved how we set out to play today. Mykhailo Mudryk, keep going. We'll give you the ball. Just keep going. Dribble, lose the ball. It's okay. We'll get it back to you, and just keep doing your thing. And finally, that goal came. Oh, how much is looked for that particular one. It's such a beautiful day, people. Gallagher, with all the hate that he has been getting from both Chelsea fans and rival fans, he still came out today and put on a masterclass on a day where the midfield showed up. Caicedo in the right place at the right time all through. Matter of fact, at some point, you needed to watch Caicedo to enjoy the full game. This guy just picking up balls and looking like, well, he could lose this one, and finding almost the most impossible pass to find. Matter of fact, when we were doing all these Caicedo videos and all of these at the start of the season, when we were trying to sign him for Chelsea, there are things he did in that game today that I felt I saw in those highlight reels. And many a time when you're trying to get a player, you're not looking forward to what he has done in that highlight reel, because many a time, let's face it, it doesn't happen. Yet it all happened for us today. What a beautiful night. Now, in as much as we talk about the beautiful night, we've got to also take note of the fact that it didn't exactly start so well. There were all signs that, well, it was yet another frustrating evening watching Chelsea Football Club play. There was that moment whereby, I think it was Cole Palmer phoned Enzo Fernandez at the start of that game with a touch that Enzo should have controlled and just shot at goal. He totally fluffed it, and it felt like, well, this just might be another evening like that. But I'm glad that it didn't turn out that way, and that we got the goals in quick succession. And it was beautiful to see Broja return to the game and play the way he did. He's totally a different striker from Nicholas Jackson, and I do hope that those fans of Chelsea that are giving some of our players a hard time are not saying that Broja is a better striker than Nico Jackson. Two talented strikers, two totally different strikers, two strikers that have us play differently, and that's exactly what we saw in that particular game. So hey, I am glad that it all worked out. There is the man called Palmer, man. The IQ on that boy. He's not exactly, because I've seen Sterling play on the right for us, and you can see what is going to be going on all about. Maybe we've watched him for such a long time, but Cole Palmer, such a breath of fresh air, gets onto the ball. He's thinking, he's looking up, he's trying to find the easiest of passes. He does everything so easy. Yet another assist right there for Cole Palmer today, and I'm really starting to think that maybe what we lost in KDB when he somehow ended up at Manchester City might be something that we had Manchester City lose when we got Cole Palmer to come to Chelsea Football Club. And yes, I was not excited when towards the end of the transfer window, I suddenly learned that one guy we were trying to sign is actually Cole Palmer, not one of the more established players and all of that. But yes, he's proving me wrong, and yes, I'm loving what I am seeing. So big ups to the scouting team, big ups to Joe Shields on that one. We seem to be having something really beautiful on our hands right there. And well, the tactical fluidity of Mauricio Pochettino in that game. We started off with Enzo as the most forward midfielder in that game, and then throughout the game you could see that there were times where he was at the base of the midfield, which you feel he prefers to pick up the ball and all of that. So yeah, maybe we were wrong when we were thinking that we need a defensive midfielder to let Enzo do other things, because it really looks like he actually prefers to do that, let me pick up the ball from as deep as possible, than it is when he's the number 10 and is waiting for the ball to get to him so he can find that one pass or another. So yes, maybe that's something to work around, but something that Pochettino also seemed to have an idea about, because there were times when Gallagher was the deepest, there were times when Enzo was the deepest. Most of the time, Caicedo was the deepest, but Gallagher occupied that number 10 position. Enzo also occupied that number 10 position and all of that. So maybe we're getting those patterns together and we're starting to play as Pochettino expects us to be. But what a performance from that midfield. For me, I do not know, because by the time when the game got done, I just went straight to this. Gallagher is the man of the match in that game. Let's find out after this video if at all they give it to him. But if anyone gets that and it's not Conor Gallagher, it's an injustice. What a game he put on in that particular one right there. Of course, towards halftime on my X, I still struggle to call it Twitter. On my X, I was pointing out to people that, you know what, halftime is not going to be for us to be out there to, oh yeah, this guy's playing so well, oh, this is my analysis, or maybe this guy should go off and stuff like that. Halftime was for the prayer books. Halftime was for us to pray that no one gets injured, and yet it looks like we ended that game with 3 fresh injuries, depending on their severity and all of that. Of course, the next game is over the weekend, so maybe there's a little bit of time to rest. If at all there were impact injuries, or if any, maybe those will heal within the week and all of that. But Mykhailo Mudryk not returning at halftime. Of course, we still need to hear from the manager to find out what exactly happened there. The goal scorer, Broja, limping off at the hour mark or thereabouts right there, not exactly encouraging. Then, of course, Caicedo also getting injured at the death of that particular game. That was not also encouraging. So we're getting all these things happening all together and all of that. And it happens for Chelsea a little too much. You have something coming together with Broja. He gets an injury that takes him out for 11 months or something like that. You keep going and all of that. Chukwuemeka gets the goal, all of that injury. Nkunku, this is all this season, other than of course Broja. Nkunku, he's doing so well, the instinctive play and all of that, getting the goals, getting the assists, and just making us tick up front. Injury, and it happened again today. Mudryk on fire, probably the best 45 minutes he's played for us. And of course, we have to compare those to his debut against Liverpool. But again, he got his first goal for Chelsea, his first competitive goal, because he beat Brighton in pre-season. We shall need to remember that. He's on his day, he's having a great time, and now he seems, well, he went off at halftime. We have to wait to see what happened right there. Moises Caicedo. What a guy. I already praised him. I still want to do it because he was that good. But speaking of our midfield, as all of that is going on, we still have Ugochukwu, who came on and did a job. Of course, he almost gave away a goal with that a little bit of trying a little too hard with the pass. But yeah, he still got us something in there, so that is something beautiful to see. We still have Romeo Lavia to come into this midfield. We have Kani Chukwuemeka. We do have Christopher Nkunku. It is beautiful to see what is coming together. And yes, trust the process, Chelsea fans. It's not a matter of sitting here and saying, oh, Arsenal are doing so well and all of that. They came from somewhere. Oh, Manchester City are doing so well and all of that. They came from somewhere. Oh, Liverpool are doing so well. They came from somewhere. Can we please come from somewhere? We had an opportunity to come from somewhere before we broke up everything and went back to what we knew and all of that. This is the Chelsea I always wanted to watch. We are not defending and winning 1-0. We are not on the ropes and trying to defend against Fulham, against Brentford, against all these clubs that we should be beating. We are dominating and scoring the goals. Of course, there are a couple of people who are saying that, hey, we scored 2 early goals and then we went off the boil and all of those kinds of things. Guys, what really happened there is that there were weaknesses in that Fulham side that this Chelsea side took advantage of. What happened in there is that Fulham reorganized and stopped us from going at them. What we are missing out on is an opportunity to thank and say, well done, Chelsea. This time, at least, we made the most of when we were on top. Don't miss that opportunity to praise these lads, guys. Don't miss that opportunity. There's just so much to appreciate with this particular side right there. Of course, our last video, and if you missed it, it's right here, was a question of, is Ian Maatsen on a forward as far as Pochettino is concerned? Well, here we are. We didn't have a left back because one of the available left backs, and there should be 2, was Cucurella. He had to play at right back, where he did solid once again. He might be a better right back than he is a left back. I kid, but you get what I mean. And then a centre back played at left back yet again with Ian Maatsen left on the bench. He came on at halftime, put in such a beautiful shift, but he came on as a left winger. So this is all games played under Pochettino of Ian Maatsen playing either at left wing or at right wing. I think it's official, guys. Ian Maatsen is a forward at Chelsea. So every time you look at who doesn't play or who plays when Mudryk is not around, who plays when Sterling is not around, when you talk about Cole Palmer, also talk about Ian Maatsen, as well as, of course, everyone else. Maybe Matos in there, you just never know. Maybe, just maybe. But yeah, beautiful stuff right there that we got to watch. I have all these talking points that I was putting aside, so I kept looking at those. It was beautiful to hear the Chelsea fans in full voice as well. Mason Mount went under that. Of course, there was appreciation for Abramovich, there was appreciation for Thomas Tuchel and some of the guys that have done well for us. So yeah, that was beautiful to see the Chelsea fans are back up and well, they're doing so well. And the fitness levels on this Chelsea side, yes, the injuries are coming in and all of that, but in the 86th, 87th minute, we were seeing Chelsea players well coordinated in presses at the top of the pitch. That was good to see. It is not, remember the times where Chelsea had to bring on Ugochukwu, well, those days they were bringing on Mykhailo and all of that, and then it was a bus, and then it was, we dare you to go through us and all of that. We were pressing in the 87th minute, people. We were pressing. This is the Chelsea we signed up for. And in there, we were looking at a guy that some people had the guts to compare to Enzo Fernandez. Matter of fact, saying he was cheaper for Fulham and than the 105 million we wasted on Enzo Fernandez. And Enzo Fernandez just decided, I shall bully you on the ball. So all of those guys that threw all that shade at me can see it. So beautiful, the things that we got to see in there. And of course, there were the injuries at the death. Moises Caicedo, I really hope it's nothing so serious right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my review of that big game. Mudryk scored a goal. We won for the second straight time. Broja was on the score sheet and so many other beautiful things. I would want to hear what it is for you that stood out. Go to the comment section and let me know what it is that is. But yeah, it's a great Chelsea night, isn't it? There's only one team in Fulham. There's only one team in London. We are the pride of London, Chelsea Football Club. Subscribe, like, share with everybody that you get to to know about. And by the way, for everybody that is engaging with this content, for everybody that is leaving a comment and everything, thank you so much for keeping us going. Until the next video, keep the blue flag flying high.